If you curb your car, if you've rubbed any curbs ever with your car, your tire will not be consistent. As soon as you curb a tire, buy a new one.
All right, Adam, let's talk about tire dressing.
It's a big deal. It's an essential part of your wash. It's an essential part of your detail. If you don't have your tires looking nice and black and even, your car just doesn't look finished. Back at the very beginning when cars first started, coming on the dirt roads, they wanted their tires to look good. They'd use an old oil rag. They'd use brake parts cleaner. They'd use brake fluid, and then people developed a very strong idea of what they prefer. Do they like really shiny or do they like rather matte and just black? Very few people are sort of down the middle. People like glossy or they want it zero gloss, nice and black.
Well, good for us. We offer both.
Amen.
And in this video, we're gonna show you a couple different looks. And on this car, we have our tire shine, which is what Adam's holding. And we also have an aerosol tire shine, which is glossy as well. But the aerosol for me, I tend to not use it as much. The aerosol, I get overspray on everything. So if there's any place to use it, maybe if you're at an indoor car show and you need the super, super glossy tire, maybe, but I just stick to the regular tire shine, the standard spray bottle tire shine. It's so easy to use. And there's even a method to doing it that makes it extremely effective, which if you stay to the end of this video, you'll get to see Adam teach you how to properly dress your tires. So
that's right. Another thing to think about and just discuss, not all types of tire dressings look the same on every tire.
Yes.
And this is a perfect example. This is our rental car. The rental car has been curbed a zillion times. You can see where it's actually made some major marks in the tread, but on the sidewall, you can see that it's been rubbed so many times against a curb that it's no longer consistently smooth. Therefore, it's not going to shine the same. You can see that right here where it hit the curb a whole bunch, it's a different color than where we haven't. So recognize all tire dressings are not going to look the same on all tires. Your Bridgestones, your Michelins, your BFGs, they all have different rubber compounds. The finishes of the tire are different, and therefore the look that you get using different products is different.
I will say with our tire shine specifically, the thing I like about it, even though it's shiny, it's still dry to the touch.
Amen. And really all of our dressings are.
Yeah, they are. But you don't get, you can rub on the tire and nothing comes off your hands, So that's a huge, it's not sticky.
Amen.
So.
And it won't sling. You touch your tire, it's wet. Guess what? As soon as you start driving, that's gonna sling down the side of your car. I mean, there's no way around it. You're for sure gonna get that.
Yeah, well, and again, I think the method of which you apply a tire shine is just as important as the product you're using. So
totally.
Let's talk about another tire dressing that maybe is a little bit less shiny. I know this is kind of a crowd favorite as of recent, but let's head back here and let's look at some of these tires back here. So
just a bunch of crappy cars back here, Joe.
It's not too great, right?
Yeah, this is my car. And I don't like really glossy tires. I'm a guy that likes tires totally black. Now, on this car, I like the Graphene Tire Dressing. Why? Well, it's just the right amount of shine, and it's also totally dry to the touch. And with these Pirellis, which have kind of a pretty serious tread block, this is sort of a retro tire that they started making again. Pirelli started making this retro sort of 70s, early 80s Cinturnato P7 tire. But you see how deep these tread block, these little grooves are?
Yeah.
I was able to spray right into that and leaves the tires nice and dark, but do you see a shine on them?
Not really, no, just barely, but it gives it a look that makes it, in my opinion, makes it look nice and classy.
Yeah.
It looks really, really good. And I think the other thing to consider with Graphene tire dressing is there's a protection element to it.
Oh.
When you hit this with water, it beads up and falls off.
Yeah, and all the brake dust comes off.
Exactly. So cleaning your tires is even that much easier.
Totally.
So adding the reduced graphene oxide to tire dressing has just transformed this. So it's been really cool.
That's my favorite.
That's my favorite too.
100%. Yeah, the Graphene Tire Dressing is without a question, that's my favorite product.
I'm kind of in between. I really, really like Graphene Tire Dressing, but if we go back here, there's another product that I personally really, really love. And again, beautiful car. and more of the look you're getting on here. And the product we're using is Graphene VRT. So VRT has been in the line forever, right?
It's one of my first products.
Yeah.
One of my first products ever was the VRT. So,
And what was the intention of VRT when you first brought it out?
you know, vinyl, rubber, and trim were the three letters
Yeah.
that VRT stood for. The vinyl, rubber, and trim product was meant to add value to the way the plastic and rubber on your car look,
Yeah.
and your tires.
Make it dark looking.
Right. Now, the older the car, the less glossy you really want to have your tires, in my opinion. Now, really glossy tires on this car would just look all wrong. So now these tires are dry. They haven't been done. So if you want to get up close and go ahead and hit those, you're going to notice that the Graphene VRT, if you're working on a car that is older and you don't really want to add any gloss, if you want to add as little gloss as possible, the Graphene VRT is the ticket.
And would you say that are there certain tire dressings for different eras of cars?
Yeah.
Like, is there a period correctness to doing a tire dressing?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, really, when I first started detailing, it was 1980. And in 1980, people were really into high gloss stuff.
Yeah.
Okay? All the way through the 80s and really even into the 90s, it was a thing. The glossier the tire, the better.
Yeah.
And then it started falling out of fashion. Okay,
Yeah.
like 2000 and up, it started falling out of fashion. In fact, when I started Adams Polishes in 2000, people were definitely coming up to our booth at the Orange County Swap Meet saying, "I'm looking for a tire dressing, but I don't want it shiny."
Yeah.
And that's when we introduced the VRT, vinyl rubber tire dressing. So that really was something that became really regularly requested. So that's why we introduced that product. Now, one of the problems with this product, which is definitely a drawback, on these block leads, these cool tires that are such a great performance tire for this car, sort of a period tire, you notice you didn't get into the tread block.
Yeah.
And it's almost impossible to get into that tread block.
Yeah.
Very, very hard to do that with a full cream.
Yeah.
You'd mentioned diluting it in a dilution bottle,
Yeah.
putting, 1/3 VRT, 2/3 water, shake it up and spray it in there.
And I do that. I have, off-road tires. I have Falcon tires, and I dilute this product because I don't want them to look super shiny.
Yeah.
So I do personally do that, and that's an option for people, especially when you do have the tread block, because nothing looks worse than you dress your whole tire and then there's just,
Right.
it's gray in all the tread block. It just looks awful.
And there's another thing you can do. You can do a hybrid. Okay, let's
Yeah.
say, we've got the sidewalls. They're looking dark. They're not looking too glossy, right?
Yeah.
But let's say I went ahead and took, since I've got the tire shine in a sprayer,
Yeah.
well, then I can just go ahead and spray into the tread block to get all of this gray tread block
Yeah.
knocked out. And then I'll just do literally just that
Yeah.
with this product, okay? Just this, getting it into those tread block little creases and crevices, the little nooks and crannies, as I always call them. And that'll make it look way better, because really dressing your tire, you see how up here, you can see the brownish gray in that tread block. And then over here, nice and dark. And actually what you're seeing in here is the tire shine slowly drying, because you can see some in there. But bottom line, this is a better look for me.
Yeah.
I don't want the tread block to look like that.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look good.
Yeah.
So if you're going to use a cream on your tire, just recognize that it takes another step to get your tread block looking great.
Definitely.
It just really is.
Now let's move back to the dual Trackhawks.
A tale of two Jeeps.
Yeah.
So on these stock Pirellis, okay, the Pirelli run flats, they have these ridges, okay? And these are the Scorpion Verde all seasons, but these ridges hold a lot of chemical.
Yeah.
Using a cream like the VRT, that won't be a very good solution for this, because you just can't get it into all these little nooks and crannies.
Yeah, well, you go and try to run it this way along the sidewall, and it just grabs all of it out, and it just gets everywhere.
It's not.
If you were going to dress it with this, which highly not recommended, you would have to go the whole way through, and it's just brain damage.
Brain damage galore. Well, tell you what, I'll do the back half with the tire shine, and we'll go to the front half with the Graphene Tire Dressing, because really the goal is to explain how they're different. Because remember, these two products are going to act very differently on this Pirelli than they're going to act on my Trackhawk, which has Michelin's.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
So I'm going to spray into, of course, only the tread block. I'm not going to do the driveway. Okay. A little bit. And we already can tell that I've got some gloss going. My gloss is alive and well, Joe. So you notice we're going along the ridges. You hear that? You hear that? Zip, 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 zip. That's going across the ridges. Me, I want the dressing to be inside each of these little grooves in the tire because that'll make it nice and even. When you have grooves like this across the tire, you're using more gloss. You're using more shine. You're getting more shine out of it because there's a gloss agent on each ridge up and down. So if you like shiny tires, great. You might think, whoa, on my highly ridged tires here, I don't think I like it so much because it's really shiny.
Those are beaming on your side.
See
That's
the difference?
incredible. That is
See
so
the
much
gloss?
That's a lot different too from the Yukon we started on.
Oh, way different.
Yeah.
Now, you know, if this thing was curbed, it'd be another whole story, right? But it's not. This car hasn't been curbed.
Yep.
Okay. So my buddy Randy, who owns this Jeep, he's a used car dealer.
Yeah.
He's going to go with the high gloss look, right? The used car dealership, you know, kind of guys usually like really shiny tires.
And more power to him, right?
God bless them. Yeah, there's a butt for every seat. Everyone's got their thing.
Yeah.
And getting into this basic tread block, this is important to get right to the wheel. I think this comparison really speaks loudly.
Yeah.
The look that you want is going to be very personal. There's not a better look. It's your look. What do you enjoy? What do you prefer? While we're talking about tire shine, it's really important to remove all the old tire shine that's on your tires before you apply new. This is nastiness that should have been cleaned off this tire every time it's washed. If you don't clean this nastiness off, it builds up and gets gross. It doesn't come off until you do a full, like this, full on scrub to get it all the way off. Came out nice, didn't it?
All right, so we showed tire shine and graphene tire dressing on those Pirellis over there. Let's talk about how it's different on your Michelins here, which you love, right?
I do. I think I'm a Michelin man. I'm not quite as fat, but I'm a Michelin man. I really do like the Michelins. So we clean these super, super well. And one of the things I like about these tires, you know, the run flat tires make your ride quality hard. If your car just doesn't have room for a spare tire, the manufacturer may put run flats on your car so that you can drive like 20 or 30 miles on just on very hard sidewalls. These are much softer, but the smoother sidewall is going to give you a different level of shine.
Yeah.
Also, I can actually get product into this very small tread block with just a sponge.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't even need to spray the tire at all.
And I want to just say something really quick too. We clean these with tire and rubber cleaner. This is almost to that point where you don't even need to dress them. They're so black and dark looking, but just giving them some richness with a tire dressing can really just take it to the next level.
That's a good point. Some people, if you really don't like shiny tires at all, cleaning your tires with our tire and rubber cleaner can net you a result that you're happy with.
Yeah. Okay, so you're going tire shine closest to you. I'm going graphene tire dressing closest to me again.
Down the middle, and I'm not going to spray any on the tire because I don't have a big tread block. If I had a huge tread block, you'd have to spray it in. But since we don't on this, we don't have to. On low profile tires, I almost always only spray into the applicator. On low profile tires, there's not enough sidewall to be able to get that spray to happen. Since the face of this tire, Joe, is so smooth, it really holds a shine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it does.
Whereas on that rental car, on those Bridgestones, on the Denali,
Yeah.
we can load up the highest gloss stuff we have, all you want.
Yeah.
That thing's been curbed so many times, it doesn't shine no matter what.
Well, it's like the only way to get shine on a tire like that is to spray it on, let it sit for a couple minutes,
Yes.
then sort of even it out. It's like you're letting the silicone dry a little bit first.
Yeah.
Whereas this, you don't need to do that. You just go straight onto it, and you can see how shiny that is.
Yeah. Now, I'm starting to see your side mellow out, and that's part of the deal. You know, both of these products are water-based products, okay? There's water in both of these, and as the water starts to evaporate off of the finish, you'll notice that there is a change in the way the finish looks.
Yeah.
So if we go ahead and walk away now, Joe, and we take a look from a little bit of a further away, we can start to see the difference.
Yeah.
And I do see a difference.
Yeah.
You know, I do see that there's a little bit more gloss on my side than there is on your side. However, if you're like, this is too glossy for me, you turn the tire sponge or the foam block over.
Just like this.
Go ahead.
This is the dry side. So I sprayed it into this side, knocked it down a little bit here, but you switch to a completely dry side of the applicator.
Bingo.
Hit it. It's gonna knock it down. In some instances, you can actually take a edgeless utility towel.
Yes.
That will even knock it down a little bit more, I feel.
Perfect. So now that look on this car is right for me.
That's right.
Okay. That's a good look for me. No longer overly glossy. That looks nice and clean. This to me on this tire is a little bit too much gloss.
Yeah.
So I think the takeaway, the most important thing to know, we have multiple options for what you're looking for a tire shine. However, you just got to recognize not all tires shine the same.
Definitely.
You know, the ridges in the Pirellis hold so much more gloss.
Yes.
You know, you can see that it's just way glossier. Whereas these very flat-faced Michelins, they hold it differently.
Definitely.
You know, totally different look. So,
and there's also, when it comes to dressing tires, there's technique to it, right? Because there's like you've told me before, you know, you don't want to spray onto your concrete because then it stains, things like that. So next, what you're going to see is Adam teaching you the best way to dress your tires and do it effectively and make them look the best possible.
Tire Shine is one of the products that we feature that makes your tires black again. Most people for many, many years have been using, you know, your store-bought stuff that we all know the name of, and they'll just blast into the sidewall here, get it all over the wheels, and barely get any up into the tread block. Therefore, you've got a partially dressed tire, and then you go ahead and douse your driveway so you got a nice big half moon look. When you use your Tire Shine, you always want to use it on a clean tire. You want to learn how to clean your tire and wheel really well? Click this video. Now, Tire Shine. I'm going to go ahead and start here, and I'm going to spray here into the top of the tread block, not into the sidewall. I don't want any overspray on my wheels. Notice I stopped before spraying the driveway too. No one likes to have oil slicks in their driveways. This is called a Pro Tire Sponge. It's our most premium way to apply Tire Shine. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and spray a couple of sprays directly in to the sponge. And now I'm gonna level off all the spray that I just added. And you're gonna notice that I'm gonna get a nice shine on this tire. If it's been a long time since the tire's been shined, like perhaps on this rental car, you might have to add a second round of product. Now, if you've hit a lot of curbs, you're also gonna have to hit a couple different rounds to get the tires to shine. The more you curb your car, the less glossy the face of your tire is gonna be. Now, I've seen people put like a trash can lid over their wheel and then just blast the snot out of it with their favorite brand of Tire Shine. I gotta tell you, that's not the jam. You should never be spraying any Tire Shine anywhere near your wheels. You only spray into the top of the tread block because you wanna have the product go up into the parts of the tread that are visible on the outside of the tire. That makes your tire look totally dressed. If you don't get the tread block done, your tires just don't look great. Now, the more the knobby you have on the side of the tire, and the more all-terrains or mudders you have, the more you're gonna wanna make sure and get into the tread block. When you're dressing your tires and you're looking at it and going, I can't get it to get even, what happened? What happened is you pulled a little bit too close to the curb, or someone who owned the car before you, your wife, your husband, they drove the car and rubbed the curb. So curbs cause the face of the tire to be rough, and that roughness looks like this after you dress it. Now, very likely the rear tire will be different. It probably won't have any of that look to it, but it'll also reduce the shine, okay? Curbing your tires, you'll reduce the amount of gloss on the actual finish of your tire. I'm gonna go ahead and get all 4 tires dressed. After I'm done doing all 4 tires, I wanna move this vehicle forward or backward 2 feet, okay? So I can bring the part of the tire that's touching the ground right now up to here or up to here, depending on which way I move the car. And then I wanna be able to finish off this, because right now, as soon as I finish doing all 4 tires, there's gonna be 4 very clearly, obviously undressed sections of the tires, which is not the look you want. When you're applying tire dressings on your tires, make sure that you avoid your driveway. Tire shine is pretty durable. It'll hold on for a while and it'll leave little stains on your driveway. That's not something you want. That's why I don't get too crazy trying to shove my sponge way underneath that very bottom section of the tire, because I know I'm just gonna just plaster the driveway with tire shine. It's a rookie move and it's not an outcome that you'll like. Sometimes Adams polishes can be guilty of offering too many products that accomplish really the same thing. When it comes to making your tires black or shiny, you're gonna need 1, 2, or 3 solutions depending on the tire that you're going after or the look that you're going after. So if you're going for a high gloss, you want the shiniest possible look, Adams Tire Shine is the way to go. If you want the other opposite end, you want the least shine possible, you just want the tire to be black, that's gonna be the Graphene VRT. And right up the middle, Graphene Tire Dressing, which incidentally is my favorite product. Now remember, one product will act one way on one tire and a different way on another tire. And even on the same tire, if you've scrubbed or rubbed a curb, you're gonna notice that once again, the product acts differently on the part of the tire that's been rubbed versus the part of the tire that has not experienced any curb rubbing. So, you got more questions for us? We got more answers. Make sure you start with a perfectly clean tire to get the best outcome.